Good morning. Hello, young farmers. My name is Tulingosi, and today we are joined by the young and phenomenal farmer. His name is Francois Maree. Today we'll just be getting to know a little bit about him and what he does and how he's making an impact in the agricultural sector. Hi, Francois. How are you today?
I'm good, and you? Thanks.
Good. Lovely to have you here. So if you can, please just tell us a little bit more about yourself, who you are, and what you farm.
Yeah, so I'm Francois. I'm here from the Eastern Free State in Bethlehem. I was a matric last year. And yeah, I've had a passion for farming my whole life. And yeah, I do pastured layers. So it's hens on the veld and yeah, eggs.
All right. So just so I understand, you mentioned pastured layers. Does that mean, is that a different type of egg or is it a different type of chicken? Do you mind just expanding a little bit more about what entails in egg farming and how you do that?
Okay, so yeah, pastured layers is a new label, as if I can call it that. So normal hens are in a barn and they in small enclosures kept in small places on wire cages, and my layers are out on the veld, so they are on pasture. They have a trailer where they sleep in. I move them with an electric paddock, so it's temporary. We move it the whole time. They are in open veld, in open spaces, so it's not free range. Free range is a barn. They open the door, the hens can go outside if they want to. My hens are always on veld. They sleep in their trailer, but they're outside the whole day. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. That sounds very interesting. So looking at the content you share, you seem to have quite a lot of chickens. How does egg laying farming work? You mentioned a little bit about that your farms are always on the veld, and that's different from free range. So what's the difference? Do all farmers do the same thing, or do you do it a bit differently from other farmers?
Yeah, so we do it a little bit different. Most layer guys, the conventional guys, they buy point of lay hens from around about 18 to 20 weeks, where the hen is just about to start laying, where it's at its peak of laying. I buy my hens day old, so I start them on the right feed from the start. So yeah, then it takes about 5 months, so 18 to 20 weeks before they start laying, and then you just feed until they grow up, until they reach that maturity, and then they will start laying eggs. So yeah.
Lovely. So besides actually growing them to lay eggs, you also groom them from like a day old, as you mentioned, and feed them and grow them and make sure that they're healthy and up to standard. Is that correct?
Yes.
Lovely. That's
So you
really
have to
awesome.
care for them with I have smaller cages, not that trailer, smaller cages that are like a shell on top. And they don't have a floor still, they don't have a bottom for when they're tiny, yeah, about from 4 month 1 and 2, and then from there they go into that trailer. So in this beginning, you have to care for them. Have to give heat, make sure they are dry the whole time. Now they can handle rain like no problem. In the beginning, they can't handle it at all. That's why we have that shell. So it's just a metal structure. It's literally like a shell on the ground, and you just move it forward and as well. So they're still open, but more enclosed, more inside, so that they don't have to fight all of the elements themselves. Yes.
Right. Oh, that's lovely. That's so nice. And then you also seem to be passionate about organic farming, or organic farming and the feed that you give to to your chickens. Tell us a little bit more about how this differs from GMO feed versus the ones that you actually give to your chickens.
Okay, yeah. So I'm definitely very passionate about organic farming. Not necessarily organic, the label as itself, but more regenerative agriculture. Organic is no chemicals. That's basically the very short definition of it. My feed is not organic, but because the feed is still sprayed. All my maize, my peas, my sunflowers, it's still sprayed. The fact is, my peas and sunflower is not a GMO product. It's not genetically modified as a crop. Maize, on the other hand, more than 90% of maize in South Africa is genetically modified. I buy from a specific farmer who I trust. He trusts me, and I buy from him non-GMO feed. So the thing is, it's not a marketing thing, but there's people out there that are afraid of GMOs and don't trust GMOs. So they want non-GMO feed and feed that is free from soy. Soy is monoculture. They don't like soy. A lot of people have allergies against soy, and some of that translates through the eggs. So there are people out there that want eggs that have better feed, feed free from GMO and soy. And the other thing is we don't feed antibiotics in our feed. That is a big thing in the conventional market. Antibiotics. A lot of people's systems can't excrete all of these antibiotics and things, nasty things and colorants and all of the nasty things that they put in feed these days. A lot of people can't excrete it, and that is why people get sick. So these eggs are supposed to help those people, yeah.
Right, very interesting. All right, and tell me a little bit more about at what age did you realize that you're passionate about farming? Because you mentioned that you were in matric just a year ago. So when was this passion for farming sparked, and when was RegenRoots born?
Okay, so yeah, I don't know the age where my passion for farming started. I think it was before I was born. I always wanted to be a farmer. I didn't know how. My father and my mother, they don't own any land. So yeah, I didn't know how, but I wanted to be a farmer. So RegenRoots was born in the beginning of this year, just after matric. I got some land. I lended some pasture from my father's boss. He's an orchard manager. And there's cut off pieces of land, small acres here and there, corners that they can't use. And I asked if I can maybe just use it. Can I lend that small pieces? I won't be in the way. And they said yes. So thanks to them, I have a little bit of space that I can use. So RegenRoots was born in the beginning of this year. My passion for Regen Ag started in grade 8 when I visited Danie Slabbert from Sewe Slabbert here in Reitz, our neighbor. So he's one of the big guys in this regen world. And yeah, so in grade 8, from grade 8 to matric, still now I visit him, I learn from him. So he's one of my big mentors, and I learn a lot from him. And he sparked the passion in me for Regen Ag. The passion for farming was always there, but the passion for Regen Ag is where it started with him.
Lovely. No, well done for also being so proactive and, making sure that your vision comes to life. And what would you say, so far in the journey, what would you say are some challenges that you faced, and how do they impact your, daily farming, your revenue, and your goals as a whole?
Okay, yeah, so I would say the biggest challenge is would definitely be the mixing of the feed. A lot of the guys there are feed specialists out there, a lot of them, and then you go to one, ask him, put a sample together. I don't want GMO, I don't want soy, this, that. And they just say no, they can't. They don't know how, they don't want to. They just say put in soy. So luckily at the end, I found a guy that could help me, but it took a lot. It took 5 months for me. They should have started laying a long time ago, but I couldn't. My lens only started laying here on month 7. So I'm 2 months behind on laying. So my production slowed down a lot, but it's picking up now. We're getting better. I think that specialist helped me a lot. Without him, it wasn't possible. But the research on feed, you start researching about protein. And then after protein, you think you're done. Then you start going into amino acids to get the right amino acids. And you just keep researching. And you have to do a lot of it yourself because, the specialists don't want to help you always. Not because they want to help, but they don't know how. This world is so small of regen. A lot of specialists don't have knowledge in this yet. So, that was my biggest challenge is finding experts in this regen world that are able to help you.
Interesting. All right. So you keep mentioning regen. What is regen? Do you mind just expanding a little more on what that is, what it means?
Okay, so regen farming is regenerative agriculture. It is about building soil. So you have conventional farming. Those guys don't really care about soil health, what. Then you get conservation agriculture. And that is where you don't want to degrade soil further. The microbes in the soil, you don't want to degrade anything worse than it is now. Then Regen Ag is another label, the regenerative agriculture. This is the label I not call myself under, but this is what I try to promote myself as. I'm a regen farmer. So I'm building soil with the fact that moving ends, that puts manure behind, gives them a year worth of rest on that grass that they've been on. That gives time to build. They have time to seed again. The grass will be better when I come back.
Recording in progress.
So yeah, in regenerative agriculture, it's about going forward, rebuilding soil. Nature, God has created nature to heal itself. All of the damage that tillage have done and chemicals have done, all of that can be healed, but it takes time, and it takes these techniques that are still developing. We don't know if we're doing the right thing, but it's looking like we are doing the right thing because pastures look healthier. All of the tests on Regen Ag is positive. So yeah.
Nice. So would you say that organic farming is some sort of regen farming or agriculture?
Organic farming can be regenerative as well, but it's not necessarily. You can farm organic, but you can still till your soils. And tillage destroys soil structure, all of that. That's a whole nother conversation. But organic farming as a label means basically no chemicals.
Right.
We don't want to use chemicals. We want to spray less. We want to use more biological products. So that is more organic. So I'm trying to be more organic, but it's basically impossible to find peas that have not been sprayed, to find maize that have not been sprayed. Yes, we'll get there somewhere in the future, but we're not there yet.
All right. No, I definitely understand. And what would you say your daily responsibilities on the farm look like? So just walk us through the day in the life of Francois in the farm.
Yeah, okay, so early mornings before 7, I have to feed the chickens. So it's not mixing feed, but I wet my feed. So it's not dusty. I don't feed in buckets. I feed on the ground. So I wet feed in the morning, weigh it out. I weigh precisely 125 grams per hen per day. So mixing feed, getting feed ready up to pasture, then open nest boxes, get the pasture ready. If it's moving day, we move them another block over, but that's only every second day. Then we come back again at 10 o'clock to collect the first eggs. That's about 80% of your production for the day will be before 10 o'clock. And then I come back at 2, it's second feeding, the same as the morning, with the feed, everything. And then, back at 2, we also do the second egg collection. Then it's we're up to 95%. There will be about 5 or 10 eggs for the rest of the afternoon. At 4 o'clock, come back, close the nest boxes. And that's basically it for the day. If we have to move the following day, we just close the coop door at night when they're all back inside.
That sounds really cool. So how many chickens do you currently have, and what's the goal? Like, where do you see, the farm growing up to? And currently, what would you say is the next step for you getting more chickens, laying more eggs?
Okay, so I'm currently doing about 550 hens in one of my trailers. So, I only have the one trailer yet. For growth and expansion, we don't know. I don't have an idea what the market is going to do. This is a very, very niche market. There's only a small amount of people that really understand what pasture-raised eggs is about and what is the difference between pasture-raised eggs and all of the other labels of eggs. So, we'll see how the market grows. But if the market is really big, we'll keep expanding until we don't want to. There's a lot of other things I also want to do. Looking at pigs, looking at goats, all of them on pasture, also moving. So there's a lot of ideas, but we first have to get this one up off the ground.
Definitely. So you mentioned that the farm or land space that you currently use was from your dad's former boss. So what type of support do you get from your family? Do you farm with any of your family members? Or are you doing it alone? And how do they come in terms of just supporting you, whether it's emotionally, financially, mentally? How do they come into the picture?
Yeah, my family is just as a part of me as I am. So it's my father's current boss, Koenraad Fik from Fik & Seun Boerdery, that is lending me the pieces of land. My family is in this as well. They help me when I want to take a weekend off. I can ask Daddy, please help, and he'll help me. And with the stress of 2 months behind, they support me, and financially they support me as well. To start this thing off the ground, yes, it takes a lot of money, especially being behind on production. But we're getting there now. It's getting better. The sums are starting to look better. But yeah, my family is a huge part of this business.
Oh, that's awesome. So you mentioned that you are 2 months behind with the farming, and that was mainly because of, the feed. As Young Farmer, as a platform that has access to, partners, resources, and information, really, how would you say platforms like ours, or as well as governmental organizations, can assist you in terms of curbing these issues as well as growing?
Yeah, platforms like you guys, I like it a lot. I have time for you guys because we need to market this whole thing of regen, organic, all of these labels, trying to do something better than the conventional. We're falling behind with the current ways of production. The system we are in as a world of food, if I can call it that, is for big scale production and low nutrients and as low cost as possible. Nobody is looking at what's in the food, what does it take to get there, is it really healthy? They're just chasing margins. So yeah, anybody that wants to promote this farming, does marketing for this way of farming, is great. We need more of it. If the government can climb on aboard on this train, it would be great. They are already. I know Landbank is busy with projects, starting to write new scriptures for lending money, but it's still they're too far behind. But they will get there. They have to. There's no other way.
Right. No, I'm glad that you find like the platforms like ours are something that you guys appreciate and are helpful to you guys. And then in terms of motivation, what would you say is your biggest motivator to stay in farming and to want to continue and grow?
Yeah, there's no motivation is needed almost, if I can say that. The passion for it, what I can see when I create, I'm not creating, God creates, but to see how a small day-old chick grows into a hen like this, starts laying eggs. It's amazing to see. I'm living the life out there. It's super cool every day what you see. If you're getting there, the struggles beat you down, but you have to beat them. So you just keep going, just keep going.
Lovely. So your passion is what really motivates you to keep on going. Lovely. And then you mentioned also that you weigh the feed, very specifically, that is. How does technology come into your farming structure? Does it help in any way, or is everything still manual at this time?
Yeah, at the moment on the production side, it's pretty manual. I do a lot of manual labor. I'm on my own, so it's just me that's working. A lot of it's manual. I have my bucky to move stuff and transport stuff, and I have a scale to weigh stuff. On the managing side, I use a little bit more technology, computer and whatnot for sending invoices and then I use AI to work out my rations. So in the beginning, to work out this amount of peas, this amount of that all of those, I can do the sums, but AI is way faster in it. So yeah, that's the only place that I use technology really.
Oh, awesome. That's lovely. I can't wait till everything has technology and you've scaled up. We look forward to that. And then this is a little bit of a fun question. What would you say on the farm is your favorite tool or task? What gets you excited? Once you're there, you just don't want to stop doing it?
Yeah, I must say it is still egg collection. Yeah, egg collection is the best. That's what we're working for. This is what this model of this business is for. That is the product at the end of the day. So getting there, starting counting eggs, how much eggs today, that is what excites me. It's looking at how did those micro changes yesterday, what did they affect today? So seeing that is the end result is in eggs.
Awesome. And then in terms of community support, do you sell directly to the community? Does the community come in any way or form to actually support your business? Do they buy from you? How are you intertwined with the community that you are currently located at?
Okay, so my current community, I'm selling eggs as a no-name producer. I don't want to connect my name to my eggs at the moment here in my local market. I'm selling at conventional price here, and then going up to Joburg, Gauteng, that is where my real market is. So my local community is helping me to get this off of the ground, but the end goal is to move everything to Gauteng or wherever people are in this for this market. These eggs is not cheap to produce. I'm not a battery. I only get 70, 60% lay rate. I don't get 95%. My feed is more expensive. I'm small. The economy is against me because I'm small. The big producers are trying to get you out. But that's all challenges we must face. That is part of this thing. So, yeah, the community is definitely helping friends, family, everyone that buys an egg from me local now. Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. And then in Gauteng, is this where you bring your eggs to retailers or the fresh produce market? Where is it exactly? What stores do you take your eggs to? If, let's say, I want to buy, as we located in Gauteng, where can we find your eggs?
Okay, so at the moment to find my eggs on Gauteng, you have to WhatsApp me or find me on social media. I have two distributors. One is Food Club Hub. They are an organization that's almost non-profit. They make profit, but it's so small. They want to give the farmers the money, and that's great. Thanks for them. So they have a few clubs. You have to join their club. They have a monthly order week, and then they have a market day. But you have to be part of Food Club to take part in this. They sell all of this organic and non-GMO, all of this health type of foods and house products, soaps, everything, milk, dairy, everything. And then my other distributor is Danie Slabbert from Danie. They sell premium meats, sheep, beef and chicken as well. The chicken that is close to mine, but it's meat chickens. So they're also on Veld moved. So they deliver weekly to Johannesburg. They have a few drop-off points, so you can contact them and order meat and eggs from them. Or you can, then the other option is you can WhatsApp me directly. I take orders and I courier it to Joburg and Pretoria as well. So, but then the courier cost is on your end.
Okay, so give us your information. So if I wanted to buy, how do I reach you? Where do I reach you? You mentioned social media. You also mentioned WhatsApp. Do you mind just sharing that information with us?
Yeah, the easiest is WhatsApp me at 081 and we'll see what's your situation. If you want to buy from Danie Slabbert's meat as well, or you only want eggs, I can sort it then delegate where would be the best option for you to get my eggs. So yeah.
Okay, and what are your social media platforms? Which platforms are you on?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Both are RegenRoots. You can just search the name, it will pop up. It's a small green tree is the logo. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And then in closing, what would you say to a young farmer out there that is interested in egg farming, but they don't know where to start, they don't know how to start, and they're feeling a bit, intimidated by the idea? How would you give them some encouraging words?
Yeah, I would think the best thing is take a chance. Start. I'm also taking a chance. Start small. Start with 10 inch. Start with 20 inch. Start selling in your local community. If you jump in, I jumped in big, but I did broilers before my layers, so they were much smaller, and that gave me the opportunity to start with the bigger layers. But yeah, start small and just take a chance. Just start. Start at the beginning. Get ends. Get feed. The rest will come. Just do your research. Cell phones, everybody has a cell phone these days almost. So there's a lot of information. All that I get almost is from all my info on layers came from my cell phone. Danie is my mentor in Regen Ag, but he doesn't have layers. He has a lot of advice, but I got everything from my cell phone. So there's a lot of great guys out there wanting to help. So yeah.
Awesome. And then before we close, you mentioned layers and broilers. Do you mind just telling us a little bit more about the different types of egg-laying chickens as well as the different types of eggs?
Okay, yeah. So the layers and broilers are two different breeds. It's two totally different chickens. Layers are it's hens. There's no roosters in between. So they only lay eggs. It's a small chicken, a lot of feathers. It's a hardy chicken. It doesn't die easily. Then broilers is a meat chicken. It's your conventional meat chicken. It's a much bigger. It grows in 6 weeks, what my chickens take in 5 months. So it's a meat chicken. It can't breed. It can't multiply at all. It can't lay eggs, nothing. So it's a broiler is a meat chicken, and a layer is a egg laying chicken. You can eat a layer, but broiler won't lay an egg.
Oh, nice. And then what types of, do the layers all lay the same types of eggs, or are they different types of eggs?
There's a lot of different layer breeds. Some of them are a little bit dual purpose, growing a bigger bird with less eggs, something like a meat chicken, but it's not a broiler. There are a whole lot of breeds of layers laying all different colors of eggs, sizes of eggs. I'm doing a hybrid. Highline Brown is my breed's name. Yeah, so they're just for eggs. They have about 300 plus eggs a year rate. And yeah, that's just a total hybrid for eggs. As I said, they're a really, really small body. It's a under 2 kg body bird. So yeah, if the end of their life cycle, when they're about a year and a half old, if they're going into live market selling as live birds, they can still lay eggs, but they won't be as productive as they are.
Nice. No, thank you so much for that information, Francois. We really appreciate your time, and we look forward to collaborating with you in the future. And all the best on your farming, all the best on growing your farming, and we will definitely be in touch. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for you guys. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for the work that you guys are doing. Thanks.
Thank you, Francois.